Here's your daily updates. Newsman Dennis Daly offers his take on the events of the day in another daily video blog.
Hi and thanks again, everybody. If we have learned anything on this trip to San Francisco, it is just how fickle the weather can get. Way off in the distance, the sun is shining brightly, but here on the bay, it's not that friendly. And you know, when they built Alcatraz, they put that hostility to work, putting it on a rock in the middle of San Francisco Bay, within swimming distance of the city of San Francisco. But who would want to get out into these turgid, heaving waters, particularly when the bay gets as cold as it is today? In a way, the San Francisco Bay forms a kind of protective moat around this often fog-shrouded island. Because of foggy conditions in the bay, the first lighthouse was built on Alcatraz well before the Civil War. The Army used the island for a fort to protect the bay and for a stockade for federal prisoners. But the era we remember the most on the Rock began in 1933, when the former Army lockup was renovated to house the nation's most notorious prisoners. Even Robert Stroud, known as the Birdman of Alcatraz because he fed birds from a tiny opening that he used as a window, was immortalized in a 1962 movie starring Burt Lancaster. 36 prisoners tried to escape. 23 were caught, 6 were killed during the attempts, 3 were never found, but it's unlikely they survived the swim to the mainland. TV shows have come to Alcatraz to talk about the ghost of the Rock. It was closed as a prison in the early 60s. Then in 1969, a group of Native Americans, invoking the wording of an old Sioux treaty giving Indians access to unused federal land, occupied Alcatraz. They finally left after 2 years, but the remnants of the occupation remain. They are now preserved by the National Park Service, and Alcatraz is one of the most visited parts of San Francisco. And they don't call it the Rock for nothing. Storied in legend about all the prisoners here, including the Birdman of Alcatraz. It's still a very, very haunted kind of place. If you have the chance, you should tour Alcatraz. There are some great tours of the Rock. From San Francisco Bay, I'm Dennis Daly with your daily news update.